So I'm coming out here tonight. I have a big interview I'm going to do here. But before that, I noticed that it was posted on Supreme Events that if you want the information about Surviving the Steel to be here tonight, and how many of you people want to know when Surviving the Steel is? More importantly, how many of you people want to know where Surviving the Steel is? So Anthony Betancourt wants to be the one to announce this, but he's not here tonight. Unfortunately, he let it slip Tuesday night during training, so I'm going to be the one to let you guys know that Surviving the Steel will take place October 1st in the parking lot of Super Shine Auto Detail and Window Tent. And as we've already seen, we already have one of those filthy Russians in Surviving the Steel, and I would like nothing better than to get a match so I could qualify for Surviving the Steel, because to be able to be locked in a cage with those guys so they can't get away would be a dream come true. But for now, I have a little interview segment I need to do, so can you bring out my special guest? Thanks for agreeing to do this. It has been a long time since I've had the privilege to stand in the ring and talk to you. So I have a few questions, and I know I told you I'd keep it to 3 questions, but sometimes questions involve other questions, and I'm going to touch on those a little bit. But what everybody wants to know is, it was AWA Supreme, and then we, meaning you, dropped the AWA when we joined the NWA. And apparently later, you repurchased the AWA and owned both companies. And you sold Supreme to Anthony. Am I correct so far? That's how it went.
You're exactly correct, yes.
So what we want to know is, if Supreme is based here in Madison, Indiana, but yet we do shows in Versailles, and we do shows in Brownstown and North Vernon and Seymour and Hanover, and so where, if I may ask, is AWA currently based?
So the AWA does not have a home arena like Supreme does. See, what we do is we travel along the Great Lakes region. So I wanted to make sure that I wasn't competing with my own company, so I moved that company to the northern part of Indiana and beyond. What?
Turn around!
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about him. Don't worry about him.
Now turn your back to him, Draven.
Have your guys just going back, yeah.
All right. So
I don't want to make it uncomfortable here, so yeah. But you don't have to worry about that later.
I do appreciate that. So question number 2 is, on Final Friday, which is July 29th, right here, your champion, TJ Kemp, will take on Supreme's heavyweight champion, Gaston LaRue. I see you chuckling. You're right, Gaston is not a heavyweight per se, but he holds a championship with lineage of heavyweights.
This is true.
And as you well know, Rob Conway is a former heavyweight champion. He took our heavyweight championship and defended it in Japan and all around the globe. Right. And Aaron Williams is a heavyweight champion. And Aaron Williams is the man that Gaston defeated for. So, regardless of Gaston's small stature and lightweight, he is our heavyweight champion. And on July 29th, Gaston LaRue versus TJ Kemp, who is an accomplished athlete in his own right.
Absolutely.
If Supreme wins that match, if Gaston LaRue wins that match, and we unify that championship, what then happens to the AWA?
Well, that's an excellent question, Eric Draven. You should work for one of these dirt sheets, you know? But here's the thing. I'm a fair guy. You know, these people love booing me for some reason, but I've tried to explain.
I've loved booing you my whole career.
Well, you know, like I tried to explain to them and you did. This is purely business. And it all started when Anthony decided to take one of my titles. So I'm a fair man, and here's the deal that I made with Anthony. If Supreme wins, then he can have it all.
That means so AWA will cease to exist.
well, I'll shut down. I will retire from the wrestling business as a promoter. And all of those AWA wrestlers will then have an opportunity to come here. Anthony can unify those titles as much as he pleases.
And I know that last week Anthony was on your AWA show and he sent back some footage, and there is some talented wrestlers on your AWA show, and it would be beneficial to Supreme to have them here.
It absolutely will.
So the most important question that I have as it pertains to these people is, in the unlikely event that TJ Kemp would somehow get a second victory over Gaston on July 29th, right here in Supreme. If TJ Kemp beats Gaston LaRue, what then happens to Supreme Wrestling?
Well, you see, that's where Anthony, I don't know if it's overconfidence or pure lack of experience, but he made the same deal. If Supreme loses, then it's all mine. And you know what? The first thing I'm going to do is clean house. Because quite frankly, there's a lot of dead weight around here. You got a lot of wrestlers that just, they don't have any business being in front of these fans. Guys like Cash Jackson. I don't see a place for him around here.
Yeah, boy, you better watch your mouth.
So Cash Jackson. Now, I'll be the first to admit that me and him don't get along, but I will also be the first to admit that he's a very talented individual.
He's had his moments, but he's inconsistent.
Getting rid of Cash Jackson and the idea of that brings to mind a second question. Now, I know that this isn't a high market area like where you're currently running AWA, but will you continue to run weekly shows? Will you continue to run weekly shows in Cash's house right here at Supreme?
I'm really not sure about that yet. We'll just have to see how the paperwork looks, how the money is.
And you said you're going to clean out. So can I drop a couple names and see if you win and the AWA stays? Can I drop a couple names and see?
Sure.
Do you have room for the superstar Steven Storm?
Steven Storm? I think he has some potential. I'll definitely give him a second look.
Do you have room for Jason Cohen?
Well, absolutely. I definitely keep Jason around. He's probably one of the best employees this company's ever had.
Anthony Betancourt.
What about me?
I certainly don't have much use for him.
Neither do I, quite frankly. This little runt right here.
I gotta tell you, this guy is up and coming. Great manager. The verbal skills alone for this young man is definitely worthy of being in any professional wrestling organization.
Chuck McRoberts.
Chuck's got a lot of potential, and he's had potential, I should say, because he's quite frankly, he's getting close to retirement age in this business. So I don't know how much time he has left.
You said that about Chuck. That makes me question where I stand, because I'm the same age as Chuck. And if you're saying Chuck is too old, what are you saying about old custom-made Eric Draven?
Hold on, Draven.
Well, I don't know. What have you done lately?
You know what? I have promised Anthony Betancourt when I took over the spotlight that I to keep this from getting violent. So I'm going to call this an end to the promo right now. I'm going to shake your hand, and hopefully on the 29th, we will have a clear-cut winner, and maybe Anthony Betancourt will have a job for you.
All right, we'll see how.
Cohen, play him out.
He knows his way out. He don't need music.
But hold on, you're gonna sit there and you're gonna say that you're gonna try to keep yourself non-violent?
When I said that to Mr. Bevins, I was talking about as it pertains to the spotlight. The spotlight tonight was an interview with Jeremy Bevins.
It sounds like you just threatened my boss.
And this interview with Jeremy Bevins, hey, this interview with Jeremy Bevins is over.
Thank the Lord.
So my promise of non-violence is also over.